Hey, what's up? It's Whistle, and welcome back to Settlement Survival. In our first episode of Settlement Survival, we built this tiny little village. All we started with was this little tent here, a builder's cabin, and a storage yard. Everything else we wound up building, this was all forest. We got that cleared out and got civilization started. So we got our farm started over here. So this will provide a decent amount of food for us for the time being. We also did start a pretty large mine as well, which we have quite a few people working for us. So that's going to be producing iron for us as we go, which is phenomenal because iron is going to be super important as we progress. As well as just kind of expanding storage and building a couple other things. So yeah, we were waiting on getting the sand pit made, which we're just waiting on iron ore, which I think we should be doing pretty good with. So let me check that real quick and see where we are at. And I do apologize for the lack of game volume at the start there. So anyway, I was going to check where we were at with the iron. So we currently have 443, so it looks like it's just a matter of them actually bringing it there while I was talking. And me being patient, which I don't like to do, apparently. So yeah, that's just going to be about built. We do have 2 development points currently. So I'm thinking, as dangerous as that may be, I'm probably going to go ahead and get a sawmill going. Put it right here. This is where I was thinking. So a sawmill is going to let us produce either planks, which is going to be a building material for us, or it will produce something that we can heat our houses with. So either way, it's going to be super useful to have. The water sawmill is more efficient. I believe it takes up about the same amount of space, but just in terms of overall efficiency, this is better because it can get more power because it's just powered by the river here. As opposed to a more mechanical sense. Okay, and I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and just knock that down by 1. We're going to employ somebody in our sand pit just so we can start obtaining some sand. And we did get a new seed there. So I'm going to just check and see what we got, and it looks like, yes, it is the oat seeds here. I don't know if those can be eaten or if they're just using the brewery, so we're just going to keep with what we have at the moment and not worry about expanding it. And yes, I did also get a blacksmith. I couldn't remember if I made one or if I was just, thinking that I did. So since we have almost 500 iron ore, I'm going to go ahead and just set this to iron tools. And we're limiting it to 200 a year, which we're not going to make anyway, but that way we're not going to deplete all of our iron resources and, make 6,000 pickaxes because we're not going to need that. At least not anytime soon. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this well off here because I think we're going to be okay on water. And we still have this little flock of, I'm assuming those are ducks, maybe geese, just chilling right behind our tent. I don't know if the hunter's going to wind up getting those. And there's the turkeys as well, so it looks like there's just a lot of food sources around, which is fantastic. Because as you can see, last year we got 28 turkeys, 15 geese, and a few feathers from them. Which feathers will help us as we progress because I believe we can turn them into different articles of clothing. And we earned another development point. So I think, yes, I don't have one of these built yet, the reed farms. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It should be in one of these here. There it is, reed field. So we're going to get this built. Can I do there? Cannot be placed there. Right there is fine. So yeah, we'll get that going. I'm going to connect up some roads here. Again, just for some city planning purposes. I'm not too worried about the trees because they will grow back if we need them to. And we'll just go ahead and do something like that. Collect the stone in the area. And while I'm at it, I may as well just get this bit of coal here and here, just so we can collect all that. We do still have plenty of coal around us, so I'm not terribly worried. Plus, if we need coal, I can just convert this to mining coal, because I don't want to use up all of the naturally spawning coal if I can avoid it, because that's a really good quick way to just get some fuel if I'm in a situation where I need some to get me through a winter. And I don't want to make them go, you know, all the way down here, or even if there's coal. Yeah, so like even to this coal, that's super far away, so it's just not practical. But, oop, and you need clay, so I'm actually going to switch that over to clay production. That's why I built the sand pit. But yeah, this game, there's so many things that just depend on each other to be built, which is really, really nice. Because it's a super in-depth game, but it's also relatively easy. Once you get past the initial holy cow, how am I going to remember all this stuff phase, and just realize that the game is going to steer you in the right direction, because ultimately they want you to be successful. So with these reeds that we're about to be growing, once we get some clay, we're going to be able to get a tailor's workshop made. So I think I actually need one more building before that. Let me see. Tent, maybe. Ah, yes, I need either weaving or knitting. So I need knitting first. And that's gonna turn into ropes and fishnet for the reeds. And then I thought I could turn that into clothing, but I guess not. So we may need to transition one of these two fields, or just build another one and make it flax, so we can start getting some clothing. Because we started off with 75 rough clothes here, but now we're down to 26. So by the end of the next winter, we're almost definitely going to be out, and then that just makes happiness just start tanking, because, you know, they're walking around gross, tattered clothing, and nobody wants to do that. So I think our big thing at the moment is just waiting on people to start showing up, which I think I might be a little proactive about things and just build some more houses. I think I might get another row of houses built back here. And just kind of create a little city street, I guess, going here. Making sure to leave room for a road to go in the middle. Just mostly for making everything look good, to be honest, but also a little bit of practicality. Just to help everybody move around just that much quicker. And we'll get that connected just like that. And I'm sure there's probably something at some point that I can put in here just to fill up the empty space. If not, I can just move the road over here, and we can just build some more houses over this way. Because again, I do plan on putting most of my houses in this area, at least to start, and just kind of have everything else on the outskirts. Because I don't want to use up any of this valuable space here for something that isn't houses for the most part, unless like I put this here because I think it looks really cool. Nice in the center of the city, a telescope just staring up at the sky. Oh, and I didn't tell you what to make, so we're gonna start making... Let's see, I don't need planks for a little bit, I don't think, but it might not be a bad idea to just get some started. And again, they're only going to be making 200 planks a year, so as long as I can keep up with wood production, we're going to be fine. And if we need to increase, we can, but again, I don't think I need planks for anything, at least not in the immediate future. So one other thing that I forgot to mention about this game is there is an education system with schools. All of your starting citizens, so all of the 20 adults that we started with, they all arrive educated. And then all of the children are not. So in order to keep things going smoothly, you do want to put down a school. So I'm thinking for the school, I might put it, I think right there is a good spot. I think that'll wind up looking pretty nice. And it'll have the trees blocking all this stuff. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. So yeah, the children will get educated, and educated people, I believe, A, they're going to work a bit faster, but B, they're going to help us get development points quicker. Which the development points do scale non-linearly. So right now we're level 6. We need 2,000 or 2,100 points. As that grows, that number is going to grow as well. So it's not going to stay at 2,100 points for the remainder. Every time we earn a development point, that number becomes bigger and bigger that we need to get. So any extra efficiencies is a added bonus for sure. Okay, and these are being built. I should have, yes, I do have plenty of iron, which is great. And we're waiting on clay still for that, which that is producing. So that's good. I suppose I probably don't need 2 workers in here, and I might actually put a second one on this water, because we're right now at 51 water, so kind of low, a little alarming, but I think we should wind up getting through. And I like over here on the jobs, if I'm not using a position, I will close it off, especially if I don't have a lot of population to start filling things. So that way when I start clicking on these buildings, so like this for example, if I happen to click on this and I see 1 out of 3 and go into any like building mode where I click on any building that has people hired, I will see, that's 1 out of 3, and then that might make me think that we need to get some more people in there working or something. But if that's just set to 1 out of 1, I know I'm good. So it's just a quick little mental thing for me, to help keep track of where we have vacancies and where we could use people if, if somebody winds up passing away because of old age or disease or what have you. And I'm gonna, just for the sake of keeping up with keeping the city relatively free of trees, I probably don't need to do those up there. I'm just gonna start chopping down a couple of these trees. Again, just to keep encroachment down to a minimum as we expand. Alright, and these houses are empty, but that's fine. They will start procreating at some point. Ooh, we're out of water. Okay, where can I steal another worker? Maybe from this lumberjack for right now. We will open you back up. Oops. Get you employed. Great. So hopefully that should be enough. I can always build another well if I need to. And at some point, relatively soon, I am going to be getting a reservoir. So the reservoir, I believe, produces more drinking water than a well will. It does take a little bit of resources to make that happen, but once I get a bit more population, I'll probably wind up doing that. Because again, I think it's a bit more efficient. And with relatively limited people, efficiencies are important. So we're just kind of moving around. At the moment, we only have the 29 citizens that can work, and everything is totally full. I don't really want to cut down anybody on the mine if I can avoid it, but if I need to, I will. And looking at my food situation, it looks like I may need to get a bit more food going as well, because it's at 1,500, but I think it's kind of more or less remaining stagnant, which growth is definitely important. I don't want to have crazy growth to the point where, by next year I'm going to wind up with 30,000 food because I won't have anywhere to store that. But as long as it's steadily increasing, that's not a bad thing, which actually it looks like it is. We were just waiting on a harvest. So never mind. I'll leave this right now. I'll just keep an eye on it. And up on the top of the screen, we do have this little circle here saying the immigrants have arrived. Come on. And we can accept them at that town hall. So once that winds up ticking over, which is in about a year, I'll be able to go to my town hall and hit this button to approve them, and they're just going to become citizens. So in order to get ready for that, I'm going to set up a boarding house. A boarding house is not a great place for them to live long term. However, it holds a lot of people. This holds 24 people, and it's just kind of a temporary shelter just to get them into your city and spread out into other houses as you start building them. But it will keep them warm. It'll give them somewhere to eat, drink, and sleep. They're not as likely to start procreating in there, but that's not a problem because, again, relatively soon we're going to be getting them actual houses to live in. And that will also wind up increasing the amount of jobs that we can fill, meaning that we're going to be able to grow our city faster. Okay, and looking at this, I do want to get somebody in the school, so I don't know if it's smarter to get rid of a builder or somebody from the mine, but I think I'll probably start with the mine. I know I just said I didn't want to really touch anything with that, but having a school is super important because that's going to just help us in the future. So this is definitely a building you want to keep an eye on and make sure you have a teacher in here all the time. And we are low on fuel, so let's see. It's a bit late, I think, to start prepping for coal. So we're going to do what we just talked about and just start mining up some coal in the area. Again, not going super crazy. Just picking up some stuff that's relatively close, but not demolishing our entire supply. And may as well also just switch this over to coal, because I have almost 800 iron, which is going to be enough for a while. And at some point, I can just set up another mine on one of these other mountains, have one doing coal, one of them doing iron, and then we should be pretty good on both of them, to be honest with you. And how is my plank situation? So I only have 25 planks. Again, that is fine. We're just slowly work on getting those built up as we go. And you can see up at the top, our happiness is starting to go into the yellow. So I think now is a pretty good time to wind up building a church. So a church is going to increase happiness, and it will also help anybody who is a member of the church, which I don't quite know how that's determined, but anybody who is a member of the church will be less likely to commit crimes should happiness fall down to, that point, which is good for sure, because crime is a bad thing. Crime can wind up causing some issues. They can start murdering each other, they can steal and beat up each other, and, normal crime things, I guess. So I'm going to just build a little road here. I don't know where's the center of this building. That looks good to me. Okay, yeah, so we'll get that going, and they'll build a church here. And then also with the church, I don't think I have it unlocked quite yet. Oh, I do. So there's a cemetery. So as the members of this town start passing away, you can put gravestones down. So I'm probably going to just use all of this space back here for the gravestone. And you can see this little ring right here. That is the sphere of influence of the church. So thinking about it, that might actually make more sense to put in the center of my town. Just so that way it's going to encompass all of the houses I'm going to wind up building. Yeah, that's much smarter. And then I can still use this area over here for a cemetery, because I don't think I'll have much other use for it. Cool. So that is deleted. All right, and we are feeling a little chilly here, unfortunately. But we should be able to make it through, because again, I do have this coal about to be mined. And I have some coal being mined in here as well. So we're already up to 30, so we should wind up making it through. And yeah, we're getting a warning that fuel reserves are low. After this winter, though, we should be pretty good, because I think I'm going to set, at least for the time being, I'm going to set this to getting some fuel for us as well, which will definitely help. And once we get a good stockpile of the coal, so let me switch this over right now just because I'm a little worried about it. But once we get a good stockpile of our coal here, we're going to be good. And the other thing, so this sawmill here, it can turn dried animal dung into domestic fuel as well. So if we start building up some pastures, which will raise livestock, so if I put some, say right here, which this is going to be a good spot in the future because this is going to double our yield that we get out of it. But if I put some pastures there with the right kind of animal, we'll get some dung, and then I can have it just produce some heating materials for us. So even though that's more or less a byproduct of the animal, it is still going to be useful for us, which is really awesome and well thought out for sure. And our church is almost done. Our church will require somebody to work in it, to be a priest or a pastor, or I don't know what religion these people are. I guess we can make up our own religion if we feel the desire to, but yeah, so we will need someone to work here. So that's another one, just nice to keep an eye on, because happiness will increase pretty good with the church here once it's built and somebody is working in it. Should be any second now. Yes, we're just about there. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a builder for right now. I'm going to leave the builder at 3 out of 4. Just because when some of these children start growing up, then at least they'll just pop right into being a builder. With a city this size, I don't want to go much below, the 4 builders if I can avoid it. Obviously, a short-term thing like this is not the end of the world, so I'm not terribly worried about it. But I want to make sure things can be built pretty quickly, or if we need a resource quickly like coal, that we're able to gather it without me having to shut down buildings in order to just get people quickly. So I think, oh yeah, I have a bunch of points here. So let's see what I can do. So I think something important to do is going to be, let's see. So we'll get another field going over here. Maybe another 2. Oh, that doesn't quite fit. That's fine. We can do one right here. So I'm going to make one of these flax, and then I will have the other one be something else. And I think I'm going to, once this is built, I'm just going to take one farmer off of each of these just so we can get it planted, because again, we will be getting quite a decent amount of people from this. The number I typically see is somewhere between like 10 and 12. So hopefully it's around then. This is the earliest I'll be able to get, or the earliest that I have personally gotten settlers. I usually see them at like the 4 or 5 year mark, at least when I've been paying attention and have some kind of idea what I'm doing. So getting this many citizens this early on is going to be very helpful. And with our church being built, you can see our happiness went up like 20% here. So we're doing good. Right now we don't have any effects, which isn't the end of the world, because as long as it's not negative, I am happy with that at the moment. Obviously, as we progress, we're going to give them more stuff to be happy about. But it's a tough battle to fight once this starts dipping down. So before I got distracted, I was looking at this. I think I'm going to go ahead and just unlock the weaving right now, just so I don't forget. And I think, let's see. So the next thing that I'm probably going to need is going to be this here. This building does kind of be a choke point for a lot of things. I believe it's mostly for the bricks, at least this early on. But there's a lot of things here that if I hovered over before I unlock that, you would see that it requires that in order to build it. And let's see, I don't have any animals going, so soap doesn't make sense. But I should start working on soap because that will keep happiness up. And let's see. So I can also unlock paper, which might not be a bad idea. And if I unlock both of these together, that is a good thing. So paper is used with either reeds or timber. And by getting that, I will be able to boost education by 100%. So again, just doubling the output of our school here. As you can see, use paper, yes, no. I'm going to set it to yes just so I don't forget about it. But I don't have any paper yet. So I unlocked the advanced tailor. I don't have any need for that right now, so I'm just going to let that sit. And I did unlock the kiln factory. Again, same thing. Don't need to build that quite yet. I don't have enough people for that. And there should be... Did I hover over it? Ah, paper mill. So I'm going to put the paper mill. That is actually a pretty perfect spot right in the corner of this road here. So we will get that built. And I think I'm also going to get these going. So we'll set one of these to flax seeds. And I think the other one, let me just make sure I didn't unlock anything else. I did not. We will just get going on some tomatoes. And I'm going to just unemploy one from each of these fields. I don't quite think that one person on these fields is quite enough in order to get the maximum harvest out of it. But at least for the flax, I'm just trying to get something going so we can start making clothes. Because we are out of clothes after the next person that takes one, which is not great. So, yeah. So the weaving workshop will help with that. So let me get that going as well. And I'm gonna just make this our little industrial area, at least for the time being. And I can always move things around a bit later, but if I plan this correctly, we should be good. So I'm going to put that right here, because I should be able to put another building in there. Like, can I put... Perfect. It's like I planned this, which I totally did not. But if I didn't say that, you guys probably wouldn't know. So I got all these buildings going on up here, which is great. The other thing that I might wind up looking into... Yes, just making a distillery, because I do have the agave, I believe, unlocked. Yes, so I do have that. So if I make a distillery, it will be able to make that into some alcohol, and that will increase happiness as well. I do have, 160 right now, so that's not an immediate thing that I need to do, but definitely worth looking into. Okay, and this building here, you can see by the little wrench icon, it is broken. Oh my goodness, what happened to your house? It's just missing walls everywhere. All right, so in this game, some of your buildings will break. Some of those buildings do cost materials in order to repair them. But there is this building called a repair shop. So I'm actually going to set that to a higher priority for right now. So the repair shop is going to, as the name implies, have people that work there, and they're just going to go around your city and repair things as they break. Hopefully before they get this bad, because this poor family that's living in here just has no roof, no walls. They just have a chimney that's not attached to the ground and still on fire. So that must be pretty scary from the inside. And we are about 3.5 years in. We are coming up on our first immigrants. I think our city's coming along super nicely here. What is that? Oh, they don't have tools. Are we not making? I guess we only made 7 tools so far. So yeah, right now everybody's complaining about not having tools. So as soon as I get some people in here that can start working, I am gonna get them some more tools. Because everybody deserves tools when they work. The tools will increase efficiency, all joking aside. So you want to try to avoid this, but I lost track of the tools that we had, apparently, because I'm a bad mayor or ruler or whatever I am in this game. And as far as I can tell, the tree growing seems kind of random. Like, these trees realistically should not have grown here because they're not near any other trees, but such is life. So I just have those marked to be demolished, as well as just cleaning up a little bit of trees on this side as well. And I think leaving a couple trees in here is going to make this look really nice. Not really planning on cutting these down unless it's by accident, which I guess wouldn't really be planning at that point. But I think that'll be a nice little touch, just having some trees by the rivers in between all of these buildings. Just to kind of make it feel a little less industrial. And you don't have any workers, I know. So what if I pause this well, because we have 450 water at the moment. We're just going to get somebody working at the repair shop. So you can see them walking over. And I like how this game has a little yellow line that will just show where they're going, where they've been. I don't know why you walked through somebody's house to start repairing that, but we're gonna watch this. She is just walking through people's front doors. Not a care in the world. She's like, I have some houses to fix. We're gonna fix them. So, anyway, now that I'm done being distracted by people fixing houses, things are coming along really nicely. We are just about done with most of this stuff up here. I think the only thing that's really limiting us is just the amount of builders that we have, because three's really not enough, especially for all this stuff that I've been building, because I'm, again, a bad mayor and just said, here, build these 8 things all at the same time, and then complain that they're not being built fast enough. But once we get more citizens, that will change. We'll get building a bit quicker. And I think, looking at the time here, I've been going for a little bit. So I am going to pause. We will leave these guys coming in as a little cliffhanger for the next episode. And all of the exciting things that they're going to bring with them. Hopefully not diseases, because I don't really want to deal with those kind of exciting things. I was just thinking more people in the labor force, because that's always fun. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope all of you have a great day or night. If you liked the video and you're still here, please consider dropping a like and a subscribe if you like what I'm doing here and the videos in general. Leave me a comment one way or the other. Like it, don't like it. You know, you want to talk about potatoes? We can talk about potatoes. I am more than happy to talk about potatoes in the comments section. So yeah, thank you again so much for watching. I hope all of you have a fantastic day. I'm going to say that again. And always remember to do something kind.